There are a total of three REITs sponsored by Mapletree Investments Private Limited that are listed on the Singapore Exchange, and they are Mapletree Industrial Trust, Mapletree Logistics Trust, and Mapletree Pan Asia Commercial Trust. Each of the three REITs invest in different property types. For Mapletree Industrial Trust, it invests in industrial and data center properties. For Mapletree Logistics Trust, it invests in logistics properties. And finally, for Mapletree Pan Asia Commercial Trust, it invests in retail and office properties. Coincidentally, all three of them are included in Singapore's benchmark Straits Times Index. In today's video, my focus is on Mapletree Industrial Trust, where you will learn about its financial performance, portfolio occupancy and debt profile, along with its distribution payout to unit holders over the last 5 years. On top of that, I will also be sharing with you the REIT's unit price movements on a weekly time frame, along with some of the key price points I have identified based on my technical analysis. Let's begin. For those of you who are new to the REIT, a quick introduction here. Listed on the main board of the Singapore Exchange in October 2010, Mapletree Industrial Trust invests in industrial and data center properties in Singapore, the United States, and in May 2023, they expanded into Japan. As at 30th June 2024, the REIT's portfolio comprises 56 properties in North America, 83 properties in Singapore, and one property in Japan, valued at a total of 9 billion Singapore dollars. Earlier in October 2024, they deepened their concentration in Japan through the acquisition of a freehold property in the country, which is fully leased to an established Japanese conglomerate. Currently, it is a mixed-use facility comprising a data center, back office, training facilities, as well as an adjacent accommodation wing. The property can be redeveloped into a new data center. Mapletree Industrial Trust has a financial year ending every 31st March. In this slide, you will find the REIT's financial performance recorded over the last 5 financial years. One of the things I like is that the REIT has managed to record a year-on-year improvement in its gross revenue, net property income, and distributable income to unit holders every single year over the last 5 years. Particularly, the huge double-digit jumps in the REIT's gross revenue, net property income, and distributable income to unit holders in the financial year 2022 compared to the year before was due to contributions from the acquisitions of the 29 data centers in United States, as well as the 14 data centers previously held under Mapletree Redwood Data Center Trust, as well as 8011 Villa Park Drive in Richmond, Virginia. In terms of the compound annual growth rate of its gross revenue, net property income, and distributable income to unit holders in this time period, it is at 11.4%, 10.4%, and 7.2% respectively, which is a very good growth rate in my opinion. Moving on, let us have a look at Mapletree Industrial Trust portfolio occupancy profile recorded over the last 5 years. In terms of its portfolio occupancy rate, it has been maintained at above 90% over the last 5 years. Particularly, its occupancy rate has been on the rise over the last 4 years, before dipping to 91.4% in the financial year 2024. This was due to a dip in occupancy rate of all of its property types, except for high-tech buildings and flatted factories. Another thing to note is the big drop in the occupancy rate of its light industrial buildings from about 97% in the financial year 2023 to about 52% in the financial year 2024. As far as portfolio weighted average lease expiry, or WALE for short, is concerned, it is at around 4 years throughout the entire 5-year period, which is quite consistent. Last but not least, as at the end of the financial year 2024, apart from HP, which contributes 6% towards the REIT's gross rental income, no other tenants contribute more than 3.6% towards the REIT's gross rental income. Here's an overview of some of the statistics in Mapletree Industrial Trust debt profile over the last 5 years. A few things to note here. First, its aggregate leverage has been maintained at a healthy level of under 40% throughout the entire 5-year period. Second, even though interest coverage ratio has slipped over the years due to rising interest rates. At 4.6 times in the financial year 2024, it is still at a good distance to 2.5 times, the minimum the REIT has to maintain before their aggregate leverage limit is being reduced to 45%. Third, in light of the increasing interest rate environment between the financial years 2022 and 2024, they have increased their hedging of borrowings at fixed rates from 70.5% to 84.6% in the same time period. Now, let us take a look at the distribution payout made by the management of Mapletree Industrial Trust. One of the things about the REIT that I like is that it has a quarterly distribution payout frequency, which gives me a more regular income stream. Here is Mapletree Industrial Trust distribution payout made to unit holders over the last 5 years. Distribution per unit fell in the most recent 2 financial years as a result of higher borrowing costs, mainly due to the high interest rate environment. Despite of that, over a 5-year period, its distribution payout still managed to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 1.9%. Here is a snapshot of Mapletree Industrial Trust unit price movements on a weekly time frame since October 2022. As you can see, it has been moving in a range of between a low of 2.13 Singapore dollars and a high of 2.53 Singapore dollars throughout the last 2 years or so. I have marked out some of the key price levels along with the distribution yield based on its payout of 13.43 cents in the financial year 2024 ended 31st March 2024. To round up today's discussion, I'm sure you will agree with me that this is a decent REIT in terms of its growing financial performance, high portfolio occupancy, and healthy debt profile. No doubt its distribution payout saw a decline in the most 2 recent financial years under review, but over the 5-year period, it still managed to record a compound annual growth rate of 1.9%. Looking forward, with the US Federal Reserve set to further cut interest rates over the next 2 years or so, the lower interest rate will lead to a reduction in finance costs, and this will aid to the year-on-year increase in distribution payouts in time to come. Another thing that will contribute to the REIT's distribution payout will be the management's acquisition of properties, which I foresee we should see more of such news to come in the next calendar year. With that, I have come to the end of my review of Mapletree Industrial Trust performances over the last 5 years. I hope the presentation has given you a better understanding of the blue chip industrial REIT. At the same time, do note that all the opinions expressed within are for educational purposes only, and they are not any buy or sell calls for the REIT's units. You should always do your own due diligence before you make any investment decisions. Finally, if you find the video presentation useful, I would greatly appreciate it if you can give this video a like and consider subscribing to this channel so you will be able to stay updated on any new videos I will be posting in the future. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to talking to you again in the next video.